Welcome to this channel of dark, thrilling story readings from beyond the grave.
Welcome to today's story, I Am Innocent by Luna Bright. Check out her new book, Beyond the Veil. I never imagined my life would take such a dark turn. I never thought I would be sitting in this room, confessing to a crime so heinous that it makes my skin crawl. It all began when my wife Rachel fell ill. She is the love of my life, the light of my world, and I would do anything for her. Watching her health deteriorate so quickly was unbearable for me. We visited countless doctors, but none could diagnose her condition, let alone cure it. Desperation gnawed at me, and I found myself looking for other solutions. I'm sure you've heard of a Ouija board. I knew that if you used it correctly, you could encounter higher powers and communicate with them. Yes, I knew it was foolish and dangerous, but I just wanted Rachel to get better. She had become so skinny that her ribs were sticking out. Her skin was as white as snow. She couldn't keep any food down. One night after Rachel had fallen asleep, I sat at my table and placed the board in front of me. I followed all the standard rules, finally asked, "Is anyone there?" At first, nothing happened. I asked again, "Is anyone there?" This time, the planchette slid over to yes. I froze in terror for a moment, but this was exactly what I had been hoping for. Please, please, please help my wife. She's terribly sick, and I can't bear to see her like this anymore, I pleaded. To my surprise, the planchette spelled out, "Very well." I smiled with utter happiness. I couldn't believe I had contacted such a generous soul. I thought maybe this was the solution after all. Just then, the planchette started moving again. "Price. Price," I repeated. "I'll do anything. Please just help her." I waited, but the planchette never moved again. I asked, "Are you still there?" Nothing. I got up and hid the board and planchette in our hallway closet. I didn't want Rachel to find out what I had done. In the days that followed, Rachel's recovery was nothing short of miraculous. Her color returned, her strength was renewed, and she was able to hold down food. The sparkle in her eyes came back, and she was more beautiful than ever. That's when the compulsions began. At first, they were just intrusive thoughts, dark and violent images that would flash through my mind like a nightmare. Horrible, gruesome things that I would have never imagined in my wildest dreams. I dismissed them, thinking they were just a result of stress and exhaustion. From juggling college, my part-time job as a waiter, taking care of my wife. Even though she was better, I still liked to cater to her every need. Day by day, the compulsions grew stronger and more persistent, till they consumed my every move. I would lash out at Rachel over the smallest things. I killed a mouse in our house with my bare hands, punched holes in our walls. Rachel began to argue with me, insisting that I needed anger management, telling me that I wasn't the man she fell in love with anymore. Her accusations only fueled my rage further. Soon our arguments escalated into physical confrontations. I realized too late what the true cost of my actions were. It wasn't my life, my soul, or even Rachel's life that was at stake. It was my sanity. The intrusive thoughts were no longer fleeting. They had become commands, relentless and overpowering. It felt as if a constant war was raging inside my mind. Despite my efforts to resist, I could feel the love I had for Rachel slipping away, along with my sense of self. I was becoming a mere puppet, controlled by some dark and malevolent force. What I had initially thought would be the solution to my problems turned out to be a grave mistake. I wanted to seek help, but who could I confide in? Who would believe me if I told them that I had made a pact with the demon, that it was taking over my mind? They would surely think I was insane. Within just 4 days, I had become a shadow of my former self, lurking in the darkness and inflicting harm on anything and anyone in my path. Tragically, this included Rachel. The love I once felt for her had morphed into pure, unadulterated hatred. On that fourth night, as Rachel lay peacefully asleep, I committed the unthinkable. I stabbed her to death 18 times. I vividly recall the sensation of the knife tearing through her skin, the resistance giving away to a sickening ease. Her scream, though hauntingly beautiful, did nothing to deter me. I just kept stabbing and laughing, lost in a frenzy of violence. The room was soon illuminated by the eerie glow of blue and red lights, casting a surreal, almost artistic touch to the blood-splattered walls and soaked sheets. It wasn't until I was confined to this cold, sterile cell that my true self resurfaced, and the full horror of my actions hit me. I could barely comprehend the monster that had taken over me. When I tell my story to the detectives, they look at me with a mixture of disgust, hatred, and a hint of pity. This is my confession. I made a deal with a demon to save my wife. The price was my sanity. At the end, I paid in blood, losing the person I held most dear, the very person I did all this for, in a twisted attempt to help her.